Hello, Steve White, Trickboy89 for Steve White's 89, Star Trek's Gatekeeper. Well, the reviews are in for the first few episodes of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. A lot of the critics have already seen them, and they've sort of done mostly spoiler-free reviews. What we know already about the first episode is very disappointing. It's basically a parallel Earth story with an environmental message which apparently borders on preachy. So that's not what I really think they need to lead with. We want to see Strange New Worlds, aliens. We don't want to just see, budget-saving parallel Earth where they can film, live. It's the first episode. Let it go. We know the first part of the episode is about you're basically bringing the band back together sort of story, and then apparently we have a separate story as well within that, so we do have a whole adventure. It's not just, the first episode is not just getting Pike back on the ship, and he's not sure he really is the best person to be there, so they take a bit to get him back, but we're hearing mostly good things. We're hearing that the show is much in the spirit of the older shows. It's more in tone with Next Generation, with the characters getting attention and arcs and all that, much like a regular drama series, but still with the standalone stories. So that's good. But we're hearing a few other things, like we apparently are going to get a Captain Robert April, and he's black. He's being played by a Canadian actor, Adrian Holms. I don't have a problem. He's kind of hot. I'm partial to a hot black guy. But yeah, they keep telling us this is canon, this is this original Star Trek universe. I'm like, well, in the original Star Trek universe, Robert April was a white guy. I don't have a problem with the first captain of the Enterprise being a black guy. It's just the fact that he wasn't. So if you want to say this is a reboot, that's fine. But you can't tell us that it's canon when you're going to change something as drastic as somebody's race. Changing the uniforms, changing the ship, changing superficial things, yes, but changing the race of one of the characters, race swapping a character, it hasn't actually been done really in Star Trek yet. They've managed to pretty much stay true on some basic level to the characters that have shown up in Discovery in that. But this will be the first one where they've just thrown it out the window and said, we're just going to do something current day. And I have no issue with diversity, representation. I get it. I understand representation as a gay man. I know, we need to have it. Don't have any problem with people of colour. I don't need the cast to be all a bunch of white faces. I'm really not bothered by that, except for the fact that Robert April wasn't black. So, yeah. So, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know if this guy's a good actor or not. I haven't heard anything about him. I know he's Canadian. Apparently, they had the premiere for Strange New Worlds, and I think they had it in LA, and I think he showed up, and I think that's how they found out. Either that or it was on IMDb or something. So this has just slipped out that we know about this. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that they're doing Alien of the Week and Planet of the Week. I'm glad that they're doing allegories, and they're sort of doing the learning through, aliens. But I hear the first example is a very preachy environmental message. But considering the state Australia is in at the moment with the floods, which is directly coming from global warming, I'm not that bothered by a bit of preaching on the environment, because I think people are not listening, so I think they might need a bit more telling. So I'm not hugely bothered, but I'm like, first episode, I'm not hearing good things. I'm hearing it's preachy, I'm hearing it's Earth-type planet, so there really isn't any great visual, there's no, alien race, nothing to explore, but I'm hearing this is just the first episode and the following episodes follow. And one of the first few episodes is going to be a comedic episode, which is supposed to work with the characters, because supposedly they're actually making some effort to make these characters actual people, not just Michael Burnham's extras, like the unfortunate actors who are in Star Trek Discovery. They really got no screen time and no development few of them, and just moments here and there. Apparently they are taking on these characters, giving them centre stage right from the first episode. And that's about all I know, really. But yeah, Alex Kurtzman was interviewed because, oops, a whole lot of people aren't going to be seeing this because, once upon a time they were on Netflix and they burned Netflix, and Netflix didn't take on Picard, so Amazon had to take on Picard, and then as soon as they could get out of their contract for Discovery, they did, and they ditched it like 2 days before the premiere and left like a whole bunch of people around the world with no way to view it, a whole bunch of regions with no Discovery. And the same problem with Star Trek Strange New Worlds. They have managed, I think, to get up a couple more Paramount Pluses around the world, but not on the level of Netflix. Netflix had about 190 regions. I think Paramount Plus was heading towards 45 or something. Last count I heard, they were way off. There was like 120 difference or something like that. I can't remember, and this was a few months ago, and I haven't been paying attention to it. But I have Paramount Plus in Australia, so I could watch it on there, but I'm not paying for Paramount Plus. I'm going to at least watch the first episode, and if I actually like it, if it's actually good, I might actually subscribe so I can watch it on my TV in better quality, but buffering, data issues, so it's still not a great guarantee of quality. But I was tempted to do it just so I can give the first episode its best chance of impressing me by seeing it, the way it was intended. But then I'm like, no, I'm not giving them a subscription and a month of my viewing, because the first episode might be bad. The series might be bad. They're promising a lot. They are promising the tone of the original series. They're promising the alien and the planet of the week. They're promising humour to sort of balance out the sort of grand sort of themes and aspirations of the cast, and not the cast, the characters and the Federation and so forth. There is real talk of this show getting back in touch with what made Star Trek great, but whether or not they actually deliver, because it's very easy to say that. We've heard before that the other shows were going to get back to the optimism of the original show, and then they didn't. I apologise for the street cleaner out there. It's the morning in Australia. I haven't gone to bed yet. I'm up all night as usual, which is usually when I make my videos, which is often why they're a bit rough. So I apologise for that. But I had to jump on this because I had to jump on Robert April being black. I had to jump on Alex Kurtzman. Oh, I didn't finish that. Yeah, he was interviewed about people not being able to see it, and he's like, well, we're not happy about it, and we're very vocal, and the cast is very vocal, and we're making it very clear to Paramount we're not happy that half the audience is not going to see the show, and the internet's going to spoil it for them, and that's not what anyone wants. And it's like, well, that doesn't change anything. I mean, perhaps you shouldn't have burned Netflix and have them ditch your show before you actually had a streaming service you could deliver it on, where it could actually be delivered to everyone around the world. If they hadn't burned Netflix, they would have stayed with Netflix for another couple of years, I think, and they would have waited until Paramount Plus had enough of an audience, because so many people are going to miss it. They are going to get it from other places, and Paramount is not going to see the boost they would have gotten from people wanting to see the show, and they're not going to get the money from that. So they are going to lose from this to some extent. But yeah, so I'm going to go. Robert April's black. Kurtzman can't do anything about the international distribution. The first episode is a budget saving set on planet Earth, basically. I mean, they're not exactly shooting in LA like LA for LA, like Star Trek Picard, but they're not really going all out in the first episode, which is really shocking, unless that's because the story is a small story, because a big part of it is just getting the crew back on the ship, and they didn't sort of want to waste a big planet on maybe a couple of scenes. I don't know. I haven't actually seen all of it, so yeah. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm hearing good things. All the people who've seen it have been saying that it is more true to Star Trek than the other shows, and the best Star Trek we've had modern, but throwing back in all the right ways to all the right things. But that's what they're going to say to sell it. So, can we trust these people? I mean, would they tell the truth? Like, I tell the truth. I say how I see it, because I don't have to worry about losing access to anything, because I don't have any access. Well, not much access to anything. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see in 4 days, I think, 4 or 5 days. It's on Friday, I think, Friday the 5th. Yeah, Thursday? Whatever. I'm gone. Bye.